guys, welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Now this is a bit of an update on the Titanic build. As I think I've told you in past videos, I've been buying the first 10 issues from the newsagents, but after the first 10 you have to subscribe then, unless you're lucky enough to get them in and you've asked the newsagent to bring them in, and you've handed in a card like that. And if so, you'll get them without fail every week or every other week when they're coming to the newsagents. This is just a quick update though, what's going on the channel with the Titanic build from Hatchet. Basically, as I've just said, I've brought the 10 from the newsagents over the last fortnightly for the last couple of months. And now what I'm going to do, I've ordered 2 back orders of issue 11 and 12, which was done last week, so they should be here soon. And then we'll get back into momentum of doing the build. And I've now subscribed from issue 13 onwards till the end of the build. It's going to take 21 days, to say, minimum should I say, to take the payment out. So you might be talking a month before we get into some momentum of weekly builds with this Titanic build. Just depending how quick they get them out to me and take the payment. They've not took the payment out as yet. They have for my first back order issues 11 and 12, so hopefully that should be within the next week, so we can crack on with those. But like I say, I've got to just wait for the subscription to start and get some momentum, and then hopefully guys will be on a mission to cracking on with this build. So just bear with me. But I thought, while I've got this opportunity, why I haven't got nothing to build at the minute, because we're up to date, up to the 10 issues, I'm just going to show you over here what we've got, what we've built so far. And what I might do then is I might do that every 10 issues and just see what we've got and how we're getting along with the build. And obviously then you guys can see where we are along with the build, unless you're doing it yourself, of course. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to crack on. I'll come over to the desk and then I'll show you exactly what we'll built. We'll look through the magazines, a quick look through the magazines, and discuss what we've done over the first 10 issues. So yeah, hope you enjoy this video guys. If you do, please drop a like and subscribe. So let's crack on. Right, first of all guys, we'll have a look at this. This is what you get with issue 1. This is basically telling you, this is massive. I don't even know if I'm going to get this on camera. As you can see, it's huge. Yeah, I'll just slowly put that across. And as you can see, it's covered me. But what we'll do is I'll discuss it through with you. You're going to get realistic accessories, little lifeboats, which is there. You've got smoke effect, which obviously if you've been watching the channel, you've seen that happen. It does work, a bit of persuadance. Die cast hull, there. And you get this with issue 1 guys, just to show you the massive, as you can see, how big it's going to be. You get loads of free gifts if you subscribe from issue 1 as well. I think you can go up to issue 5. Anything after that, you're not going to get the free gifts. So if you're going to subscribe from issue 5 at the latest, or obviously from issue 1. You got deck details, remote control, running engine, rotating propellers. I mean, all this guys is going to be in this information when you get your first pack. I think I've showed this in my first video anyway, so I don't really need to go back into that, but I thought I'd just briefly go over it with you. In fact, yeah, here's the free gifts. You get a tin poster, binder with your 3rd delivery, and then you get a screwdriver set with your 5th delivery, and then you get a pocket watch, which I'm a bit gutted about not getting that. That looks pretty cool, to be fair. But it's one of those. That should be 7th delivery. That's if you're subscribing guys. So I wish I'd done in the way, but I just wanted to get this video and get filming, and maybe I was one of the first on YouTube to be doing this build from Hatchet. There's a few other YouTubers who are starting to do it now. Obviously it's your priority who you want to watch us all, maybe as a community, support us all. But yeah, you get that in your first issue. So drop that down there. And what I'm going to do now guys is flick over to the magazines on the desk, and I think it might be easier if I just get behind the camera and show you what's in the magazines and what we've built so far. Right guys, so starting off in issue 1, let's have a look what it says in here. There's a lot of history in these magazines as well, guys, about the Titanic and what went on and what sort of people went on there, etc, etc, how it was built. So they are an interesting read. As I've said before in previous videos, perhaps read them between builds and then keep reading the new magazines as you get them out to you, so you know what you're building, you know the history of the build, etc. But yeah, there's a lot of information in here, guys, as you can see. I'm not going to go too much into it because obviously one, I don't want to spoil the mags for you in your easy time reading, and plus you don't hear me just reading when you can read them yourself when you get these issues. But as you can see briefly by just looking at this first magazine, there's a lot of history in there, guys, and the instructions are pretty cool, to be fair. They're self-explanatory. To be fair, so far these 10 issues I've not had any problems. It might have been a bit fiddly at times, but if you follow the instructions, guys, you're gonna have no problems. As you can see here, this is what you got in the first issue, which is the forecastle. Obviously it just come with this bit and the cut bit and a few parts, as you can see here in the instructions, but that was the finished result after a few issues. But again, you'll see as we go through the mags what we did. As you can see here, it was showing you how to put the cork decking onto the plastic forecastle. I did glue a few corners down here because you don't want that peeling off over time, because obviously over time when it's built, this is just self-adhesive above here, so you could put some super glue, gorilla glue, something like that, just to make sure you don't come up. But I'm not having any problems with that at the minute. On this forecastle, when I was building it, I don't know if you remember, if you watched the issue, I think I pushed a bit too hard on one of these, pushing them in, which they're called, yeah, the ventilation duct. No, it's not. It's not the ventilation duct. Bear with me, guys. It's the breakwater. Yeah. Basically, don't push too hard, guys, because they're just little nipple things and they'll snap. And what I had to do is just glue that on. But I've not glued any of the parts. I just push in and click in, and they're not going to fall out. And sometimes you have to take them out, like for example if later in the issue you have to take these out to get these little parts in, and if you'd have glued them in you'd have some problems then. But yeah, that was issue 1. As you can see, if it tells you to glue them, obviously glue them. And in this issue the only parts you had to glue were, let me look, it's been a while since I've done this. These points here, as you can see, let me zoom in on that. There. Which is obviously these bits. Hang on a sec, let me double check that, guys, hang on. Yeah, just pause the video there, guys, I just wanted to double check it's this. That's the only thing you've got to glue. Put 2 dabs of glue in there, because that's obviously not going to be coming off again. But the rest, I won't glue anything else in case you have to take the parts off. And that, as you can see on there, the instructions was the completed work. I'll zoom in again for you. As you can see there, this is obviously progressed along the way with the other issues, which we'll see in the mags in a sec. It does look good, guys, that. I think it's going to be a brilliant build, this. So yeah, that was issue 1 done. And then we'll take a look in issue 2. Again, more history. How it was built, the structure of the ship. I'm sure it goes into how it sank and what happened there, which I know everyone probably knows that near enough. But in issue 2, we're starting to assemble the hull. Now, the hull obviously has progressed a lot from this stage. That's what we've got at the minute at issue 10, which, if you agree with me, that looks wicked. It's a bit heavy, that is, guys. Probably 2 bags of sugar, maybe. Bag of sugar, a bit heavier than that. It's going to be good quality, this. That's all steel, obviously. Got the Titanic badge there. And all this is, guys, is screwing parts in. I know that sounds mad to say, but it's not hard. It's very easy so far to do. There is fiddly parts on this build, but we'll come to that in a minute. The only fiddly parts I think we had. But anyway, in issue 2, starting the all assembly, as you can see, it's self-explanatory what you can see in the instructions here. There you go. So those parts. Okay, just screwing things together, guys. That's all he was doing. And then you had that finished, the point, the completed work of the peak of the hull, if that makes sense. And that was issue 2 done. That was pretty straightforward. And then we had issue 3. These was pretty easy issues, guys, at this stage. This was the engine and the smoke generator. That's the parts you got. Yeah, I'm just looking, coming in issue 4, there's more of the hull being built. But this is where, if you want to say it got complicated, it was in the issue 3, because there was a lot of fiddly parts. As you can see, I'm zooming in so you can see the parts a bit better, guys. That's what you got. And that was the engine and smoke generator. This was starting to put the engine together, basically. I'll show the instructions of the parts that you put together. Again, it wasn't hard to do, it was just fiddly, that's all. And then you join those, the engine parts together, as you can see. This was a mixture of metal and plastic. See, I'm not going into depth too much with this, guys, because hopefully you've already watched the videos, you know what I did. It's just a recap, and I might do this every 10 issues, to be fair, so you know where we are at and what parts we've got. So yeah, that was issue 3, which basically was what you've got here, part of it anyway. Obviously it's a bit progressed since then. We're putting these 2 together, doing parts of the pistons and putting this cog on. And I'll show you how that works in a minute and at what stage we're at that. And then issue 4, again, more history about the Titanic, as you can see, and the people who were involved in it, who went on it. And all we was doing in here is more parts for the hull, port side of the hull. So basically, as you can see by these instructions, there you go, you just put in more parts of the hull on the port side. And please excuse the chaos in this house. If you can hear my daughter and my son, they're on the PS at the minute, and that was probably the wrong thing to let them go on, to be fair. But yeah, that was the port side of the hull, which again, I can show you that. That's this side. Putting these together more, just making sure that they're all flush, guys, when you do these, that you've got no gaps and they're all flush together, because you don't want to be having any gaps. You want to make sure your screws are all tight as well. You don't want the Titanic being falling apart. You've got it up on the mantelpiece, wherever you're putting it. Right, then we had issue 5. As you can see, guys, there's a lot of history in these books. I ain't read them myself yet, to be fair. I ain't had time, but they're there if I want to read them. You will get binders as well. With the subscription I've took out, I think you get binders every certain amount of issues, and I think they're $9.99 for the binders. I like getting the binders. I've got them for the Back to the Future DeLorean. I've got them for the R2-D2, which I've not put on the channel yet, the Millennium Falcon, because I like to keep all this so I can read them later on. And as you can see, they will be coming to the channel eventually, but not at this present time. But I will be building them for you eventually. But that's another video. Right, this issue, sorry, which is issue 5, did I just say? Yeah, I'm leaving, yeah, 5 is the hull section and connectors. Again, easy, guys, just a bit fiddly, putting plastic onto plastic, as you can see. I'm not going to go too much into this because it's self-explanatory, and I know hopefully you've watched the videos already. And that's what you had left at the end of issue 5. And then on issue 6, I'll just quickly go through these mags, guys, just so you can see what sort of details are in them. When you get them yourself, you can have a quick read of them. This is the whole section and the engine parts. again, as you can see, this is basically building the engine. These parts here, these what you can see here, and if you do that, as you can see, never gets hold that, still cool. There's the engine going. I think you have to always do it anti-clockwise as well, so the mechanism works right, because you don't want to be snapping any of them rods. And then at the end of that, issue 6, that's what you had. That part of the engine columns, crankshafts and connecting rods have been assembled, and then work started on the starboard side of the hull, which is that bit. And then we come to issue 7. Do you know what? I can't wait to read these if we ever get time to read them, because I bet there's some interesting stuff, guys, as I keep saying. Yeah, issue 7 was the base of the engine, which obviously is all this, which is plastic. This is plastic. These rods are plastic. That's the only metal on it, and all the rest of this is plastic. But again, it's just screwing parts in, guys, as you can see by the instructions. Nothing too much, and it wasn't as fiddly as other issues. Just basically putting screws into where them need to put them in. And then we was doing port side of the hull, more assembly on that. And that was what was left with issue 7. That's where we was left with that. Just pause that for a moment, guys, because my dogs are going mental. And then we was on issue 8. And guys, there's 130 issues of this build. So you're going to have a hell of a lot of mags. Some people don't like keeping the mags, that's fair enough, they just chuck them. But I think you should keep these with this build, because it's a really good build, guys. And in future times, if you or your family friends want to have a look at the Titanic, obviously you want to show it off, and they want to read a few facts about it, then you're going to have these magazines here for life as well. Yeah, this issue 8 was details of the forecastle. So we were going back to this forecastle, and we was putting on yeah, what's that called, anchor chain guide. As you can see, you just tell to put a bit of glue on there, so I'll glue a bit of that. And then the rest was just putting things into the holes on here, guys. That's all. I don't need to go into more than that. It's self-explanatory on the instructions. And then there's a few screwing parts on and everything. But I won't glue parts unless it tells you to be fair. Just follow the instructions. And then what we was doing as well is putting these white parts, that's not a very good way to say it, isn't it? What was it called? Take the porthole assembly from the previous issue, fit the top strip. That's all it is top strip, metal strip to the forecastle hull, sorry. There we go. And then that was taking shape like that. So guys, I'm just resting up there because I don't want it to fall. That was the end of issue 8. And then the penultimate one for now, issue 9. So you guys, look at the details, showing you how the ship was built and how it looked. Pretty cool. You've even got facts and figures of the length of the ship, the weight of the ship, and I presume how many people could go on it and all that. It's really good, this. It's really interesting. Why is the Back to the Future one what I've done with DeLorean? The mags for that was pretty cool as well. I've not read all them yet either. Right, assembling the bow. Basically, back to this. This was putting these plastic bits in, screwing on to the rest of the hull, basically. But at the end of the video, I will do a video shot of all the stuff what we've got so far, so you know what's at the build and where you're going to be at issue 10. Self-explanatory, guys. You're just assembling the bow, basically, put screws where you need to put them and follow the instructions. And then at the end of issue 8, that's what you've got. All that. This little stand thing comes with it, so you can rest it wherever you're storing it until the next part's being built on it. And then, last for now but not least, issue 10. So as you can see here, guys, let me just zoom in on that. 2 seconds. That is what's coming in issue 11, so I'm waiting for that. That's going to be good. The funnel, funnel wrap, tank, filter, funnel cap, and other parts for the first funnel, the iconic chimneys on the Titanic. That's coming in the next one, which I'm hoping shouldn't be too long. As I said in the beginning of the video, I've paid for the back issues of 11 and 12. I'm just waiting for those to come, and then I'll put them up on the channel. And then as soon as I've got the subscription in momentum, then it'll be a consistency thing again for the Titanic on a Monday. Yeah, this one then, issue 10, it was details for the engine. So basically, these little ring things here, you're just putting them on top of the engine. Again, follow the instructions, guys, you won't have a problem. Because there's three big ones and one small one there. And then you was putting these antennas, what are the exhaust valves? Hang on a sec, 10F. Yeah, they go on top of the cylinder head. 10F is, I thought so, the exhaust valves these are, but they're very flimsy, so be careful when you're putting them in. Push on them about there and don't push out because you're going to snap them. But they do look effective, as you can see. There you go. That's details for the engine. That was issue 10. I think that was it. Oh, all right. And then we finished off the hull. We basically put, if you want to call it, the floor in the hull. I mean, the only plastic on this here is that, and the rest. That's plastic as well, but the rest is metal, steel. It's going to be a heavy ship, this is, guys. Really heavy. So I wanted to build the Bismarck, but by the time I was thinking about building it and doing it, I can't get hold of it. I mean, whether it's in stock now, it could be. But I chose to do the Titanic instead of the Bismarck. And that is what you're left with at issue 10. Oh, before we end this video as well, that was the smoke machine thing, if you remember that, way back. First few issues, issue 2, 3, whatever it was. That was to make the steam for the chimneys, which I'm still hoping it's going to be better than that when the real thing, when we get the chimney smoke coming. We got there in the end if you watched the video. If not, look back, guys, at the playlist and look back at the videos for the Titanic, and you will see it does work with a bit of persuasion, but it took a while. I hope you enjoyed that video today. Like I said, I thought I'd fit it in now because I've got no build to do for the Titanic at the minute before the parts come, the issues come through. So I thought I'd do this quick recap video, and it's a nice round number to do to issue 10. And I know I've said this at the beginning of the video. I think what I'll do is every 10 issues, we'll have a quick recap, what we've got. I might not do the magazines after the issue 20, etc. Because, well, I could do, if you want me to, comment down below if you want to see the magazines. If not, I could just recap on what parts we've got and what we've built over every 10 issues. Seems a nice round number to do that. So yeah, that's going to be it for this week's video, guys. Just bear with me if it's a few weeks before you see any more Titanic builds, but as soon as I get them come through and delivered to my house, I'll post them up for you and try and keep it consistent so we can do it every Monday like we've been doing for the last few months. So yeah, appreciate you subscribing, appreciate your views, and if you're already subscribed, cool. If not, can you please like, subscribe, comment down below, feel free to share the video. And I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was like a bit of an insight to what you're going to get in the first 10 issues, and I hope you like what you've seen. So yeah, I'm going to end it here, guys, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.